Hello, and welcome to day 60 of the 335 reset. Before we get started, I just wanted to give you guys a quick disclaimer. This video documents my personal history and weight loss journey, educational and information purposes only. Nothing in this video should be considered medical advice, diagnosis, or recommendation to use any medication, peptide supplement, diet, or exercise program. I discuss peptides. I discuss different compounds in this video that probably are not FDA approved and may carry significant risk. So you guys, you know, I'm not telling you what to use. Right? They're not dosing instructions or recommendations for anyone. This is my journey and I'm documenting it, not prescribing it. That said, let's get cracking on day 60. Now we're gonna start with the weight. Um, I've purposely not mentioned my weight in my video updates of the walking updates that we do every day. And I was waiting for the day 60 update just to have some fun, and it's pretty good. I'm down to 303 pounds. I started at 235 on June 1st. June 10th is when I actually started the Retta. So that was like 323.3. June 1st, I had already started the walking. Um, and yes, so I'm down 34.7 pounds. And the goal weight is still 230. So we have 70 pounds left to go. Right. Um, the next thing is what I use to calculate the weight. I've been using the Hume body composition to calculate the weight. It does a better job. I had an older scale and it was okay, but this one seems to do a pretty decent job. Haven't gotten the scan yet. I'm definitely waiting on that. Probably around day 90, I'll go ahead and get the full body scan and share that information with you guys. But as far as my body composition, I'll tell you this: the weight down to 300, like I mentioned, the body fat is down from 48% to 42.5. Body fat mass is down from 147 to 127.5. Lean mass is 169. Subcutaneous fat mass is 110. Visceral. So the visceral fat went from 20 to 17, 16. Like it fluctuates over the last week between 17 and 16. Um, and like I said, these are rough estimates. Can't really, especially from a daily perspective, so you can't really take them as law, but it does give you a gauge of where you are and how well you're doing. My health score is still like 235. I'm waiting for that to go up. It actually did. I think I started off with like 210 or something like that. So that's pretty good. My metabolic age is 54. So, it's going to take a while for that to come down, but it is what it is, right? We'll work on it. The big thing was my blood work. So on May 15th, I did blood. And then on July 9th, we went back and we did the blood. So this is after, started everything, started working out. And my glucose went from 87 to 84. I know it's a lot, but we're working on bringing that down. The cholesterol went from 227 to 183. My LDL 159 to 120. The non HDL went from 184 to 141. Triglycerides went down to 103. What's another big one? The creatine went up to 1.1 milligram. I think that's milligrams. I'm not sure. Slash DLs. I don't even know how they really read that one. It's just in there, right? And my A1C is at 6.3%. Now I know they told me like when I first started, I was pre-diabetic, but I was on the verge of being diabetic. Now I'm pre-diabetic, but on the verge of not being diabetic. So I guess I'm at the starting point of pre-diabetic and not at the end point. So that's a drastic change, and I'm happy about that. Um, Now we get to the good stuff, right? The peptides. So the first peptide I started taking was retatrutide. That was on June 9th, I believe. Uh, week 1 I took 2 milligrams. Week 2 I took 4 milligrams, and week 3 I took 8 milligrams, and I've been on 8 milligrams ever since. Um, any side effects that I've seen so far has been the the sensitive skin. Definitely get the sensitive skin. I did have like a breakout for like a week or two, and then it just stopped. But definitely the sensitive skin is still there. You do get some morning nausea, right? Especially if you don't eat, like it will hit you hard, and you have to be able to deal with that. But other than that, it's been solid. Um, I do know that it does. I'm not sure exactly how it does it, but the body does feel better. The knees feel great. Um, Walking, even when I'm walking these longer distances, I used to feel pain at the bottom of my feet. I'm not feeling that anymore, but I think that has a lot to do with the shoes, and we'll get into that a little later as well. Um, but there's not a lot of pain. Everything seems to be going well. So I decided that we were gonna stack. So with the and when I say I've spoken to not only um other individuals that are doing this, but I've also, watched a couple of you guys' videos and stuff like that just to see what some of these medical professionals are saying about these things before I actually do it. So the next peptide on my stack is tesamorelin. Now the test I just started on Sunday. Um, my dose is 2 milligrams, 5 days on, 2 days off. So today and yesterday is my off day. Tomorrow I'll start dosing again at the 2 milligram. It's still too early to say anything about it. I know some people said as soon as they took it, they felt tired. I haven't done that. Haven't felt that yet. My biggest problem has been sleep, and I haven't seen a change in my sleeping pattern since I've started taking it. Hopefully, it does, because my sleeping pattern is horrible. I think that's the worst part of this journey, is trying to get the sleep right. And at some point I think I have to work with that sleep apnea machine and get it done properly, because I thought losing weight would kind of help with that, but it doesn't seem to be progressing any better. So I'm gonna try that. Now, MOTS-C. MOTS-C I haven't started taking yet, but the plan is to start taking it on Monday, right? There's not a lot of information on it, but like I said, I did the background work, and I'm looking to see how well it helps, especially from a recovery standpoint. I've always had a problem with recovery, and then I've been doing all this walking, and I haven't really been paying attention to resistance training. As you guys may know or remember, I started doing the T25 training initially, but that at that weight, um, it was very stressful on the the joints and everything else. Like it was bad, so I had to stop. Continued and focused on walking. Speaking of which, today we hit 6.5 miles. Now it wasn't pretty. It definitely wasn't pretty. It took like 2 hours and like 25 minutes, but it was done, and it took everything out of me today. I tell you no lie, I was beat, but I was happy. So, shout out to the wife. She started out with me. She started to feel some pain, but yeah, it was good. And 21 minutes, well, let's call it 22 minutes, um, miles, and eventually we're gonna get it down, right? With some consistency. Um, So now the walk routine. I started at, I think, 1 mile, then went to 3 miles, then went to 4 miles. Now I'm trying to ramp up to 6. Now I haven't done 6 consistently every day. I've gotten to 4. 4 is my consistent. Like I can't do anything less than 4 miles. So I'll hit the 4 miles, and then at some point, I'll continue to do the 6. Right, I'll do it once a week maybe, and then try to do twice a week or whatever it is. I know I get the morning walks with the wife on Tuesdays and Fridays when I'm remote. So maybe then that way, we bang it out, and then I get to stay home and work and take care of business. So we'll probably try that out. Now, today I found myself thinking that, you know, I could wear this sweat vest and this heat and it would help, but it didn't. I I think it maybe overexerted me. I'm not even sure because I've never done the 6.5 miles before, but I do know that it was brutal with that sweat vest on. So I am going to not do it and see how it feels. And I've also ordered some new sweat vests because that one was old technology and like it was stuck to my skin. It wasn't the best, but we'll see how that works out, right? And like I told you before, I bought all of this resistance equipment. I do the resistance band a couple of days a week, but I'm not going hard as I should, and that's one of the things that I'm planning on pushing forward now after the day 60. Because I do have a bet with my son, right? The bet is if I weigh less than him come December 31st, I have to buy him a Montclair. If no no no, if he weighs less than me come December 31st, I have to buy him a Montclair. If I weigh less than him on December 31st, then he has to he has no social media and video games for an entire year. So let's see how that goes. Now, I know in some of the videos you guys have heard me talk about my Achilles. Stupid me, I still haven't gone to the doctor about it, but it hasn't been an issue lately. Everything's been cool. I think one of the things that I realized was that I had some sneakers that were like 10 and a half and 11, which I thought was my size, but it seemed to like rub the back of my heel with the Achilles and like presses it and it makes it sore. Also, I drive 2 hours back and forth to work, and you get that driver's heel. So now I have the mind slides that I'm using to alleviate that. Speaking of shoes, um, the Brooks. Damn, man, I gotta get the name for those Brooks, but they're solid, so solid. And then I also got a pair of Hokas. I think they're like GTX, some Gore-Tex ones. The Hoka, I think they're amazing shoes. Like great, super, super light. You don't even feel them. Like they weigh nothing, and it just works. Especially at my weight, I'm loving it. I did order the Nike Mind 00, I think twos what they call. But those they came in 11. Those were too small, so I had to send them back. I'm gonna try a pair of the 11 and a half because I have the slides, and like I said, I love the slides. I've gone walking in the slides. I've done 2-3 miles on the slide, and I've been good. Um, hydration. I've been using the 40-ounce Owala container. I think have it here. I'm gonna see it right. I just keep it filled. I'm a sparkling water type of guy. The doctor said it's okay. So I've been going through 12 bottles a day of the Saratoga blue bottles. They're like 12 ounces each. I've been going through those like fairly quickly. And then the electrolyte mix. So we just let me tell you what electrolyte mix. We used to use liquid IV, but we started using tell you the name, just ingredients, and it's clean. It doesn't have like the sugary feel like the liquid IV. and it doesn't come in like individual pouches. That's the only thing I don't like about it. But it's super clean. I have to worry about any additives, no sugars, nothing like that. It's solid and it tastes very good. I'm not a big fan of the what is it, the guava mango. That wasn't the best, but the lemonade seemed to be amazing. Um, Sleep tracking. So I was telling you about the sleep tracking before. I've been using the Aura ring. It does a decent job. Now, what I realize is that like this finger, it's a little like slidey. So when I go to sleep, I normally put it on my thumb because that way it gets the heart rate, the consistent heart rate. Because if I leave it on the other finger, it doesn't get a consistent. It'll get it for some time and then like it'll show blank marks. So I just wanted to make sure that I maintained it. So I've been using that. And then my HRV has been like 95, which is really good. Um and I'm working for a better sleep score. Like I told you, it sucks. Now, this is good with tracking, but just like most of the other trackers, as far as footstep tracker or step trackers, you have to swing your hand. Like if you're not swing, like there's times when I go with the baby and I'm pushing the stroller, it's not counting. Like it sucks at that. Thank God for my Apple Watch. Have the Ultra 2, and that kind of takes up the slack, right? So that's what I use as far as tracking technology. Nutrition. So I told you about the just ingredients for the protein. I mean for the electrolytes. For the protein now, I've been using Kachava. I like Kachava. It tastes amazing. Now I tried Kevin Hart's new protein, and it's good. Like it makes you feel good. It gives you all the vitamins. It has everything that it's supposed to have. It tastes like vegetables. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but it tastes like a green smoothie. Like a green shake. Um, but other than that, it's been solid. So I've been going back and forth with those two, and then we use the pure protein. I think that's what it's called, and we just put them together. So one is like I guess the Kachava, and the other one is like a meal replacement. And then the pure is just solid protein, right? And then we're also taking collagen, magnesium. I did start the amino acids, but I stopped because of how much protein I was taking in anyway. So there was no need for that, right? Now the current supplement stack that I'm doing is multivitamin from Thorn, right? Omega 3s from Nordic Naturals, the collagen, the psyllium husk, the magnesium, and and then the electrolytes. So you guys know about that as well. And that's about it. You guys have any questions, any thoughts, concerns, anything that you want to discuss, any tips, any recommendations, any questions you have about anything that I'm using that you want to try out. And I think I'm just going to do a video one day with everything, list the brands and what I'm using and how I feel about them. But for now, this is the 335 reset, day 60. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for all your love. Thank you for all your time. Thank you for everything. It's greatly appreciated, man. And we're going to be on this journey. That 230 is coming. So let's go. God bless. Peace.